Digital products are dead in 2026. All these ebooks, courses, templates, even software businesses are going to disappear in the next couple of years. And it's not because the businesses are saturated. It's because digital products have a problem that can't be fixed. And AI just made it way worse. That's why in this video, I'm going to tell you why digital products are dead and what products you should sell instead. My name is Andy. I've been making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month selling this type of product over the past 6 years. And I'm going to show you how you can start doing the same in 3 simple steps. But first, let me explain why I think digital products are in fact dead. Now, most people, they assume that saturation killed digital products. Right now, anyone can create a PDF guide or template in less than 5 minutes with AI. The competition didn't actually kill them, the information did. AI just made information free. Why would someone pay $20 for your PDF when they can get a better answer for free? They're simply not going to. AI basically eliminated the value that they had overnight. And the crazy part is that this isn't just affecting people that are selling templates. It's hitting entire companies. Chegg was a company that gave you access to a database of homework answers. Now, by 2021, millions of college students were subscribed. I was actually one of them, paying $20 a month, and it was worth over $14 billion. And the reason why they looked bulletproof was because they spent years upon years and hundreds of millions of dollars getting people to solve every problem in that database. And that's not something that you can just copy overnight. But then ChatGPT launched and their $20 subscription was now competing with something that's free. Especially for college students who are already broke, why would you pay for something that is free? You wouldn't. So Chegg became the first public company to say that AI was destroying their business. And over the next 24 months, Chegg lost 99% of its value. So if AI is killing the value of almost every business out there, what is the move? You want to build something where the value is something that AI literally cannot replace. And what is that? That's physical products. If you have back pain, you can ask AI for a solution and it'll tell you what painkiller to take or recommend you a back massager, but it cannot manufacture those products and ship them directly to your door. And just like back pain, there are millions of problems that can only be solved with a physical product. Dry skin, knee pain, your dog destroying furniture. These are all problems that AI can't solve. So the model is pretty simple. I call it the AI middleman. Use AI to run the business side, but what you're actually selling stays physical. Does that make sense? Which means that AI helps you grow instead of replacing you. And there's very clear proof of this. Theragun was launched in 2007 and was making nearly $400 million in annual revenue. And when ChatGPT launched, the business didn't slow down. They just started using those new tools to move faster. And now it's considered one of the most valuable recovery tech brands in the world. AI didn't replace them. It actually helped them grow. And that's the kind of business worth building right now. Before any of that, there's something even more important. And believe it or not, it's not your product, it's the problem. So quick little story, there's this guy working out of his garage in 2011. He could not hear the doorbell when he was out there and kept missing deliveries. So he thought about how he could solve that problem, and he created Doorbot, which is a doorbell connected to Wi-Fi that sent an alert to his phone and let him see and talk to whoever was at his front door. And what he did was he took that product, pitched it to Shark Tank, and every single shark actually rejected him. But that didn't make him quit. He kept building, rebranded the company to Ring, and 4 years later, Amazon acquired it for $1 billion. So he built $1 billion company out of a problem that he had. And pretty much every success story of the last decade started the same way. Not with a product, but with a problem that someone had. So you don't want to be in the product business. You want to be in the problem-solving business, because the market doesn't care how cool your product is. That's just the reality. They don't. If the product doesn't solve a real problem for a real person, the business is not going to work. No, like, you're probably not going to build the next Ring. You're probably not going to make $1 billion either. And that is totally fine. You can make a few million a year, just like I have and a lot of people that I know, just by taking an existing product and connecting it with the right customer. But to actually find a product, you're scrolling Instagram or TikTok, looking at what's being sold through ads. You can also use tools that tell you what products are trending right now, but don't pick a product just because you think it looks cool or because it's trending. The product that you choose needs to pass through 3 filters. I call them the Painkiller filters, and I run every single product through these before I test anything. The first one is engagement. Now, when you see a product ad or you find a product in a research tool, don't look at the product. Look at the comments and hunt for signals that tell you that people absolutely need this thing. Comments where they ask a question about the product like, does this work for a specific situation? People tagging their friends, saying things like, Sarah, we need this for our trip. Or straight up comments like, this is literally what I've been trying to find. If you can only see comments with, for example, emojis or saying that the product looks cool, that's generally not a good sign. The second filter is solution. So look at the product and describe it in one sentence, the exact problem people who buy this product face. So for example, for a posture corrector, this will be something like, my shoulders round forward at my desk all day and I'm starting to get tension headaches. And for something like a silicone food cover, it'll be something like, my leftovers dry out in the fridge because plastic wrap never seals properly. Now, if you're having trouble describing your problem in, let's say, 60 seconds, that means that it's not a problem solver and you should not try and sell it. The last filter is demand. And most people, they think that the best markets are the ones where there's absolutely no competition, and that couldn't be further from the truth. That just means that there is no demand. So the way that you validate this is just by looking for competition. So you can go to the Meta ad library and search for the product or one of the brands that's selling the product that you're wanting to sell. And if the ads have been running for, say, 2+ weeks, that means that people are actively trying to solve their problems and they are buying the product, because no brand is going to keep spending money on ads if they're not getting sales, because Meta ads cost a lot of money. But at the same time, you don't want too much competition either. So you want to find that middle ground. So you can look for how many brands are selling this product. Anywhere from 3 to 5 brands running ads means that the market is still in its early stages and you can enter. But if there are 10 to 20+ brands running ads for the same product, it means that the market is likely saturated. So run these every single time. And if it passes all 3, you've got something worth building around. If it misses one, find another product and start again. Now let's talk about getting people to buy. Here's the thing about physical products. You can't just put your product up in a store and wait for customers to magically find you. Physical products, they need traffic in order to make sales. And there are really only 3 ways to do this. So number 1, you can make content and post it on TikTok, Instagram, but then you're completely dependent on the algorithm catching onto you. And if it doesn't pick up on you, you're not going to get any traffic. The other way is to hire someone to create an ad for your product. And this works. A lot of brands go this route, but it takes a lot of time. You got to find creators, negotiate rates, wait on drafts, send revisions, and by the time that you actually run something, weeks have gone by. And if that angle doesn't land, you are basically just going to start all over. And the third option doesn't have that problem. You can use AI to create your own ads, even if you know nothing about it. So here's how it works. First, you use Claude to write the actual ad script. So what's going to be said in the video. I built a custom Claude skill specifically for this. So if you've never heard of what a Claude skill is, it's basically just a set of instructions that Claude reads every single time that you open up a new chat and you reference it. So instead of having to re-explain what you want each and every time, it already knows exactly what to do. And this skill right here, it knows the full structure of a converting ad. I've actually trained it so it understands everything. So you just have to describe your product and attach some images to give it context of what you're selling. Then the skill figures out who will actually buy your product and writes a description of the avatar that will be in the ad. And it also gives you a full production prompt with everything that will be in the ad and exactly what the avatar is going to say out loud. If you want this Claude skill, I created a Notion guide for you guys to download for yourself. I'll leave it in the description, completely free. Then you can take what Claude gives you and drop it straight into a software like, for example, ArcAds or Higgsfield to bring the whole thing to life with AI. I'm not going to go in greater detail on exactly how to do that. You can watch this video if you are interested. Now, before you put any money behind it, there's one thing that you need to figure out first, and this is way more important than most people realize. It's your break even. So you can take your selling price, subtract your product costs and your shipping, and whatever's left, that is going to be the maximum that you can spend to get a customer and still make money, right? You want to write that number down. Everything that you're about to see gets compared to that number. Now, if you're going to run paid ads, I would recommend starting with meta ads. The reason is that the algorithm is the best at finding buyers for you. You don't have to figure out the targeting anymore. You just give it the creative and let it learn who it should be targeting. You're gonna have one campaign, CBO, campaign budget optimization, at $50 a day. You're also gonna have one ad set, which is gonna be broad. You're gonna put no interest in there, no stacking. Literally, you don't even gotta touch it, other than maybe who you want to target, which would be men, women, and then the countries. So just pick your countries and leave everything else open. And then you want to run 3 to 5 creatives, which each have different hooks, different angles of the same product that you're selling. And once it's live, here's how you read the data. So the first thing I look at is the CTR, which is your click-through rate. Above 1% after a couple days means that people are stopping. Below that, your hook is not landing. Then you have your cost per purchase. So you want to compare it to your break-even number. Now, if you haven't spent anywhere from $100 to $150 yet, don't touch it. It needs more data to optimize. Now, if you spent over $200 and the cost per purchase is way above your break-even, you're going to have to cut that because it's not profitable. If you're under your break-even and you spent enough to trust the data, you want to let it continue to run. And when you find something that's profitable, don't just double the budget or increase the budget 10x overnight. Instead, you want to increase the budget 25% every 2 to 3 days and let the algorithm adjust. So if you have it at $50 a day, increase it to 62.5 after 2 to 3 days. And if it's still performing and holding, after another 2 to 3 days, increase it another 25%, which would be $78. That's really all you have to do. The numbers are going to tell you everything. You just have to know what exactly you're looking at. Here's what most people miss at this stage. So you've got the product, you've got the ads, but the stores that are actually building something lasting all have one thing in common. They look like a real brand, and the fastest way to get there is going to be custom packaging. So branding on the package that arrives to your customers. Right now, the thing is, when someone gets your product and it actually feels premium when it arrives to their front door, they're way more likely to either post about it, come back and buy again, and probably just trust you with their next purchase. Now, when I was first starting, you had to order hundreds of units, which was an MOQ, before you've proven anything, right? So in order to get custom packaging, you would have to work with a manufacturer and then pre-purchase, say 500 units, and then they will make the logo on your product, or they'll put the logo on your box, add a sticker. But let me show you how to bypass that. So this website right here, I'll leave a link to it below. It's called Team Drop. So once you sign up, your dashboard is going to look something like this. The app is entirely free to use. So you have the option to sell any of these products, and they have a ton of really quick shipping lines. That's why I like using them, is because we look at the options. They have Yoon Fast Lecture. You can get the product to the customer within 5 to 8 days. Now, of course, this is like a heavier item, maybe not the best example, but the fact that you can get your product to your customer within 5 to 8 days is absolutely insane. So the main use case for us here is going to be the packaging. So if we go into packaging products, you can see that you can send out any of the products that you want with all these options. So if I went in and pulled up this tin box right here, the MOQ is 1. You only need to buy 1, right? Some of these do have an MOQ of, let's see, yeah, this one's 200. So thank you letter, custom printed cards, you need to buy at minimum 200, but they're 10 cents. For the most part, a lot of these are no MOQ, or very low MOQ, meaning that it's a minimum order quantity. You only have to buy 1 or 2 to actually get this product sent to your customer. So let's just say, for example, that I was selling this watch right here, right? I'm selling this watch and I want to differentiate myself from my competition. A couple ways I can do that is ship the product faster. Okay, so cool. We have different shipping lines to get the product out to the customer in 5 to 8 days. May cost a bit more, but we can back that into how much we're charging them. If I want to go to the extra extent, make myself look ultra professional, I go back in to packaging products, and we can browse and see what we can actually sell our product in. Right here, octagonal watch packaging, MOQ of 1. So that means that I can have this product right here packaged inside of this professional branded looking case with my logo on top of it, sent directly to the customer. Now, in order to do that, pretty simple. All you have to do is press this WhatsApp icon right here. It's going to then open up a WhatsApp chat, which is simply a chat where you have access to your own agent that's assigned to your account. And you just got to tell them, hey, you know what? I want this product right here sent inside of this fancy box. And that's going to cost you $2.60 plus $1.80, and then however much it costs to ship depending on which line that you choose. So really awesome feature that they have, and this was something that was never accessible when I was first starting, but it's a massive advantage, and I think a lot of people just don't know about this. So you can insert stickers, you got all kinds of different packaging options here. But the main thing is that you're not waiting until you're doing an insane amount of volume to start looking like a real brand. You can start building that way earlier than most people think. All right, so look, you have everything that you need to launch and start making sales. Everything that I just showed you can be done today. But here's what most people don't realize until they start building the whole thing themselves. So those first months, they could go well. Let's say you're getting orders, you're scaling, but new problems arise. Ad costs go up, people are asking for refunds, your ad account gets banned. And that's the exact phase that I built my program for. Me and my team have all built multiple 7-figure brands using this exact model and dealt with every one of these problems along the way. So that experience is what we bring when we work with you. You could ask us anything from what product to test, how to build something that actually lasts. Now, be super honest, we can't work with everyone simply because there are only so many hours in the day, but we do have spots open right now. I'll leave an application link below if you guys want in. Either way, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace.